Hey friends, I forgot to mention that my Reddit is not safe for work. It's not bad. Well, you can be the judge of that. Just make sure you're the age of 18 years or older. Pop, pop socket. Ah. Sorry for the poor video quality. This is recorded on my iMac. So I'm gonna try to do this in one shot. I might have to cut parts out because I do ramble. But this is an update on why I've been gone and why, like, just an update in general. First off, hi friends! I have been very busy. That was a message. I've been very busy with family things and it's been difficult. Someone very kindly messaged me on Reddit, asking me, they said they saw my Patreon post and they have been struggling with mental illness for over a decade. Oh goodness. I'm so sorry. I have to be honest with you. Found out recently what they have, and they've been finally diagnosed. How do I fill my days? I apologize. That was my alarm to get up, but I got up all by myself. And they said, how do you fill your day? Jesus, without dwelling on things. So I do dwell. I got the right medication, which is, I'm very grateful for. Holy crap, I am. This is my friend, by the way. I'm so grateful to my friends and my family, the very few that actually were there for me throughout the whole process. I was not the best of people. I annoyed, and I was overly emotional about a lot of things, and I did apologize to them for that. But to answer your question, I played a lot of video games when things got really tough for me. Like I had thoughts of suicide, which, yeah, I have tried. Okay, that's a different story. That's where my cat got me. Oh, that's a tattoo. Or is it? I can tell lower. Here you go. You can barely see it, but there's lines here. I've cut myself. Then down here, that's a spider bite. There's some there and all up in. I got a tattoo to cover some up, and then I ended up cutting again. And don't do that because it doesn't help. It doesn't. If you're gonna do anything, cut paper. Like angrily cut paper. But if you're like me, then have children's scissors to angrily cut paper so you don't hurt yourself. I am an adult now, therefore I have big adult scissors. But as for that, video games, reading, studying, YouTube helped a lot. Let me see. I don't know. I am a huge fan of Harvard. I was accepted to Harvard, and I didn't go. But I'm a huge fan. I have a lot of Harvard books that I've read through. I suggest finding things that you enjoy the most if you just stop and think about it. Like I was playing around with this. I quite enjoy this painting. I also quite enjoy photography, and my camera, which is not set up right now. There's one there, and then here's my other one. That's a good hobby. I quite enjoy that too. I mean, I don't really. If you message me more privately, I guess you would say, that was rude. Sorry, my cat just knocked the canvas over. If you message me personally, more about you, I would love to talk to you. Since I found the right medication and I feel like a normal human being again, I honestly, the thing that's come to me the most is I want to help others. Because I know how they feel. I've been on both sides now. I know it's just so difficult and sad, and I can't, and I don't want to cry either. After a while, or a week, I'd say a week after I got my medication and been on it, recently someone very close to me who also suffers from a lot of the same things but doesn't have the money. And I don't have the money either, but my parents stepped in after things got a little bad and said that they would pay for it, which I am beyond grateful. I cannot even begin to thank my parents. They have been a very huge part of my life, and growing up it was difficult because I could never meet anybody's expectations. I didn't get along with my father. I got anxiety from watching The Walking Dead at 3 in the morning on Netflix back in 2010, and I didn't know at the time that's what anxiety was, and it runs in my family, and so it just got worse and worse, even though I didn't continue to watch the show. I started getting different types of anxiety, and so finally I brought it towards my mother, and she was just like, if that's anxiety, she's like, we need to take you to a psychiatrist. And it turns out I was diagnosed with severe anxiety and chronic depression. And apparently I also have bipolar disorder, and I think I get that from my dad's side of the family. But on a great note, I got medicine to control it, and the world is so different. It's so, before, I thought it was beautiful. Of course, I thought it was beautiful. I'm gonna pull up my Patreon post here, and for everybody who hasn't seen it or read it, see. Yeah, also, my parents paid for, the doctor's visit and everything, but me, myself, and I have to pay for the medication. Ooh, sorry, you got dark there. So if you want to support me, you can go to my Patreon. That would be awesome. I have different perks, and you can message me for more ideas. That would be great. I'm dumbfounded when it comes to thinking of ideas, and some days I'm just like, idea, 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 but I don't have anywhere to write it down. But my Patreon post is You Aren't Alone, and I wanted to thank my friends and family who have been supporting me throughout my quest to find the right medication for my mental illness, which would be anxiety, depression, PTSD, and bipolar disorder, which is very hard to diagnose. And I didn't know life was supposed to feel like this. I didn't know oneself could be so happy and content. For me, this may be the end of my journey, but it's a beginning of one that is much bigger. Nobody deserves to suffer because they don't have money, they don't believe in medicine. I tried and just be told that's normal from their doctor, someone who took an oath to help you, someone who's being paid to listen to you, to pour your heart out in hopes that they can help. I'm not going to forget what that feels like. I'm not going to leave those people behind because I finally got it right. I had a little support, but it was from people who cared and gave 110%. I cannot thank them enough. I really cannot. Although once I got to this point, I could say bye. I thought once I got to this point, I could say goodbye to this part of me, but now I can't step away. I can't imagine myself not helping those who have given up like I did at one point, which I did. It got bad, and I almost gave up. I almost just if you're reading this and you feel hopeless or you can relate, please don't hesitate in messaging me. You are not alone. You have my support, which you guys do. And I would love the support towards me from the people who do have money. You can go and find charities and stuff for people with like mental illness or whatever. But as for me, who doesn't have that much money, I say that, and like I have a lot of stuff behind me. I know some of it's my roommates, but you can come to me. And as much as I can really do is talk to you about it. But also, not saying you have to, but also if you wanted to support me to help me pay my, for my medicine and everything, that would be fantastic. The link for my Patreon will be in there. Can we call down there my boobs? Should we start doing that? Let's do that. Down in the boobs. So yeah. That's 14 minutes. Jesus. I forgot to make an ending to my video, and I'm trying to look at you up there, but as per usual, Bulbasaur! And Bulbasaur says, bye friends!